deadline, but this is a different focus on. They're actually going back to the episode 3, which everyone talks about, the huge big deal of episode 3 and how it handled a relationship between two men and how beautiful people liked it and thought it was and whatnot. But It Starts on the Page is actually a deadline feature which features 10 standout drama series scripts in 2023 Emmy contention. So that means they're saying that this episode of The Last of Us is an Emmy contention, and I'm sure it's going to win a bunch of Emmys, or at least be nominated. It showcases the critical role a writer's work plays in a show's success. All materials are submitted before the WGA strike began. The HBO post-apocalyptic drama starring Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey launched to strong reviews and enthusiastic response from the fans of the video game it's based on. Then episode 3 came along, taking pop culture by storm. It transcended genre to attract audience who never played the game or watched a zombie show, and catapulted a 50-year-old Linda Ronstadt song to the top of the music charts. Titled Long, Long Time after Ronstadt's song, the episode hailed as one of the best hours of television in 2023, and possibly ever. Okay, that's a bold statement. It was written by Mazin and directed by Peter Hoare. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. It stars Nick Offerman and Mary Bartlett as Bill and Frank, two survivors of the zombie outbreak who find love amid the destruction. Here is the script of episode 3 with an introduction by Mazin about what went into writing it and what he hopes viewers take away from watching. The script and the show. The Last of Us is a love story that's not always good news. Love can blind us, move us to violence, harden our hearts to strangers, or paralyze us with grief. But in the world Neil and I built for the show, it was just as important to show how love could still flourish in a positive way. I wanted to explore how two very different kinds of love, the nurturing, generous, and beautifying, as well as the protective and possessive, could exist in balance. Bill and Frank embodied those two kinds of love, and for me, as someone who has been married for over 25 years, it was just as important to portray that kind of love. The lasting, well-worn love that is a product of not merely of attraction or chemistry, but of commitment. My hope is that people will see in Bill and Frank's relationship the victory of honest, achievable, realistic love. Even in Bill and Frank's ending, after all, each of us will end. That's not a failure for any well-lived life, or for any love we share. It's simply the final act of what was hopefully a beautiful play. And if we're lucky, as Bill is, we will leave behind a lesson that inspires others to live as we did. Frank changes Bill for the better. Bill changes Joel for the better. Joel changes Ellie for the better. This is what love can do. I was lucky enough to have a brilliant director and the perfect cast. They all had the greatest respect for the text I wrote, and in turn, I have the greatest respect for the way they brought it to life. And as I said to Nick when I sent him the script, I don't know how to write better than this, so I sure hope you like it. I say the same to you, and thank you so much for reading and watching our show. Yeah, so that's the whole little article, and there's a link in it, so I'll have a link below so you can check out the script if you want. I'm going to read it just because, I'm also into screenwriting a lot, and so far this is the only script of The Last of Us that I can find online.